Hello and welcome to Bitsbox World, Builds Made Easy. Today I'm going to be looking at the Combat Patrol magazine issues 4, 5 and 6. The reason for that is that issue 4 only comes with some paints. Issue 5 is one model, but he's a cool model. And then issue 6 comes with some more Tyranids. This completes my second delivery from Hachette Partworks with this subscription service that I've got. So up to issue 6 now. But with issue 4 then, you get some paints. 3 paints. These retail, because they're all base paints, at £2.75 from Games Workshop, or Warhammer as it's now called. And you also get this basic starter brush as well, which is alright. Not the best brush in the world, I would say, but it will do the job. And then you obviously get the Combat Patrol magazine. It's still a cool magazine. It teaches those that are new to the hobby or following along with this subscription how to paint your models, techniques. This is really quite useful for doing traditional standard painting. Gives you an overview of the different brushes, things that you'll need, and then also how to undercoat. So you got your blue paint with this set, so you can start to undercoat in blue if that is your preference. And interestingly, I learned something. Lots of thin layers they recommend if you're painting on your undercoat. I spray nowadays with just a sprayed undercoat. You also get a nice story in there about a special sergeant called Ashcarton. He is fighting off the Death Guard. Really cool little story. Space Marine character sheets, so if you want to name your characters. Tyranid character sheets also. And then you get into more scenarios that you can play during your learning of the game. So this one is called Desperate Measures, and it pits some Infernus Space Marines versus some Von Ryan Leapers. So really cool way of learning the game. And again, as I say, I was new back to Warhammer 40,000, so it's been really useful for me and my son to play through these scenarios. We've done a lot of Kill Team, but not much 40,000. And the Combat Patrol, giving your guys their already created stats, just makes it really accessible, nice and quick to get into. Issue 5 and 6 is highlighted on the back of the issue 4. So let's jump into issue 5 then. This comes with a brand new Space Marine Sergeant. He's quite a cool model, I thought. I really quite like it. So you get your plastic sprue there. And yeah, you can start cutting those bits off. And what you will need is some clippers to be able to do that. And with the subscription, my first delivery, I got some handy clippers. But let's have a look at the magazine then. So this comes with a how to build of this model. And one thing to note on this one is it's not a push fit model. Some of the Warhammer 40,000 models are push fit. This one is not, so you will need some glue to stick it together. You get a couple of heads, so you can choose which head you would like on that model. There's some continuing how to paint techniques, how to get your models ready. And it's continuing with the paints that we've got, expanding on getting your models painted over the course of the subscription. The Imperial Tithe, then, that's really cool. So it's another story. The Imperium of Man is a vast, hungry beast. Its constant campaign of conquest demands unending resources that are provided by the Imperial Tithes. Some planets pay the Imperial Tithes in a raw material, while others provide warriors. If a world fails to pay its tithe, the consequences are dire indeed. So we saw in a previous issue about the different types of worlds under the Imperium rule and the tithe worlds. Yeah, that just gives you some more information into those. You've got some Infernus Marine Sergeant stats and details, how to use the Infernus Marine again in some of the more scenarios, and then right at the back there, just the upcoming editions. So let's build this guy up. As I say, he is a brand new Space Marine Sergeant. He's got a flamer as well, so he'll fit right in with the Infernus Marine squad. And we'll just go over some of his stats. So he's coming in with his flamethrower, ready to fight off those Tyrannid baddies with flames of purification, as they say. So he replaces your sergeant that we got with edition or issue number 3. He comes then with his flamethrower, bolt pistol, and a close combat weapon as well. So movement 6, toughness 4, save of 3+, 2 wounds, 6+ leadership, and then his flamethrower is doing D6 attacks, strength 5 and 1 damage dice. Bolt pistol is 1 attack, 3+ on the ballistic skill, strength 4 and 1 damage dice as well. So this guy is pretty cool. He is a replacement of the sergeant that you've already got, but you could, if you're doing a bigger battle, just have one of them being a normal Infernus Marine, so you'd have 6 in your squad. Whilst I'm building this guy up then, I just wanted to go over some things from the issue. And Wargaming Hobbyist commented on my last video and has requested that I go over a bit more lore. So shout out to Wargaming Hobbyist, and gonna read some of the stuff from the issue. So the Red Helm, every chapter has its own unique heraldry used to honour its champions. Sergeants of the Ultramarine chapter, for example, wear red helmets, allowing their fellow troops to recognise these beacons of command, even in the thick of battle. So that's cool that we've got another sergeant model here. He's really decent, really quite cool, and ready to use him. I like the fact as well he's standing upon a dead Tyrannid. And that leads me into issue 6. So we have got some more Tyrannids to add to our Tyrannid combat patrol. These are 5 Barbagons. Barbagons. Goodness. There we go. So 5 Barbagons. And these guys, they look like they're just artillery units, really. They come in with these big guns on their back and fire in from a distance. But let's get into the combat patrol issue then. Following on, it has the how to build. These guys are push fit, so you won't necessarily need some plastic glue to build them, but I always use plastic glue anyway. Continues how to paint these guys, and then you get onto the Emperor of Mankind. It is better to die for the Emperor than to live for yourself. Really inspiring words there from the Imperium. You've got a bit about High Fleets, the Terrors of the Stars, the Tyrannic Wars, the Tyrannic Wars. So that's fighting off the Tyrannids and getting a bit more information there. I like the fact it goes over Leviathans, Behemoth, and the Kraken as well. And then you get some stats about the Tyrannids that we've got, the Barbagons, and also into the scenarios as well. So really good. Continuing to use these models and playing through with each edition, telling you how to use them. And then it goes into some stats at the back and how you can organise and understand your units. So really, really cool. Again, preview of the next edition, so issue 7 and 8, we're going to get some more Tyrannids coming. So, whilst I'm building that, having a look through the issue, there's some really cool stuff in here. Really cool stuff. And I wanted to read the battle for Macragge. The battle for Macragge was a bold manoeuvre by the Imperium that ended the First Tyrannic War. Pre-warned of the oncoming swarm, the Ultramarines, along with starships of the Imperial Navy and the battle titans of the Adeptus Mechanicus, prepared a desperate defence. As the Tyranid bioships battled the Imperium above Macragge, Ultramarines, Space Marines on the surface fought for survival below. The most courageous actions were taken by the First Company, who, with a mere handful of soldiers, held the planet's polar fortresses against a seemingly endless tide of Tyranids. In the end, they fell, but in the process saved their world from being overwhelmed. It would be centuries before the Ultramarines truly recovered. Super cool. That's why I like reading these editions, because you just get loads of cool information about them. And yeah, really like building up the combat patrols over time. So a good 3 editions there covered. Sergeant, some more Tyranids for the combat patrol, and some paints and a brush ready for painting these models up when I get the chance to do so. So far then, this is what it's looking like. I've got 5 Infernus Marines, a Sergeant and a Terminator Captain, and then I have a Tyranid Prime, some Von Ryan Leapers and some Barbagons. Really looking cool now. And there we go. Thank you for stopping by, checking it out. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video.